In the veiled underbelly of ruin, where shadows whisper secrets and loyalty is a blade's edge, 3 outcasts forged a guild that would haunt thieves and kings alike. Welcome, lore masters, to Lions of Ruin. Today, we pull back the curtain on one of the realm's most enigmatic figures, Quillon Nightshade, the drow rogue known only as the Thorn. Alongside his most trusted allies, the infernal tiefling Cleo and the sharp-witted kobold Grease, he built the Briar Guild from blood, secrets, and an unbreakable bond. This is their story, a tale of betrayal, forbidden connections, and the relentless pursuit of vengeance. Born in the eternal night of the Underdark, Quillon Nightshade is a figure carved from obsidian and moonlight. His ashen skin and silver-white hair mark him as a child of the Drow, but his path diverged long ago from the cruel matriarchy of his kin. He found his way to the surface, a ghost in a world of sunlight, his violet eyes holding the sorrow of 1,000 nights. It was in the sprawling, chaotic cities of Rune that his destiny intertwined with 2 other souls adrift in the currents of fate. First, there was Cleo, a tiefling with skin as pale as bleached bone and hair streaked with defiant red. She carried the fire of the hells in her veins. Her claws could spark with infernal magic, a power she wielded with both precision and barely contained fury. Then came Grease, an orange-scaled kobold whose small stature belied a cunning mind and a loyalty as fierce as any dragoness. Armed with twin spectral daggers that flickered like ghostly flames, he was the silent, observant anchor of their trio. Together, in a hidden cavern beneath the city, they carved thorny sigils into stone, marking the birth of their own society, the Briar. It was more than a guild. It was a sanctuary, a family forged in the crucible of shared hardship. They built a shadow empire built on thorns and trust, a network that spread its tendrils through the criminal underworld and the halls of power alike. Quillon, with his unnerving silence and lethally efficient strikes, quickly earned the moniker the Thorn. He led their rise, his movements as silent as falling ash, his daggers finding their mark with unyielding certainty. They sparred together, planned together, and fought together, a perfectly synchronized unit of shadow, flame, and steel. But no bond is truly unbreakable until it has been tested. Their ascent did not go unnoticed. Rivals emerged from the darkness, and old enemies from Quillon's past sought to drag him back into the abyss. The first true test came not from a blade in the dark, but from a poisoned chalice offered by a supposed ally. It was a moment of hesitation for Quillon, a flicker of doubt in his violet eyes. But before he could make a choice, Cleo's sharp glare cut through the deception, and Grease, with a furious snarl, smashed the goblet to the floor. The betrayal was averted, but the crack in their trust was a stark reminder of the world they lived in. It was a lesson learned in the rain-slicked streets outside the Bosom Buckle Tavern. Trust is a shield, and they were each other's only protection. From the blood-soaked alleys of the city to the thorn-choked depths of the Undercove, they called their stronghold. The Briar's founders carved a path of fractured oaths and shattered enemies. Their methods were often brutal, but always precise. They dismantled rival guilds from within, turning members against their masters and exploiting every weakness. They forged alliances with other outcasts, disgraced knights, rogue mages, and spies without a nation, all united against the encroaching influence of the Drow scouts that hunted Quillon relentlessly. These moonlit skirmishes were a dance of death. Quillon would weave through poisoned arrows like a phantom, his blades a blur of silver. Cleo would unleash fiery bursts that scattered their foes, her infernal power a beacon of beautiful destruction. And Grease, with his spectral daggers, would ensnare enemies in shimmering vines of light, his cunning tactics turning the tide of battle time and again. Yet, amidst the chaos and violence, a different kind of tension began to smolder. It was between Quillon, the guarded soul from the sunless depths, and Cleo, the white-hot tiefling with a heart of cinders. Around a flickering campfire, her clawed fingers would brush his scarred arm, a silent question in her touch. He would not flinch, but a storm would brew in his violet eyes, a conflict between his ingrained drow discipline and a warmth he never knew he could feel. Grease, ever watchful, would just smirk from the shadows, knowing that this spark could either be their salvation or the inferno that consumed them all. This forbidden bond, a fragile bloom in the shadow of thorns, became the quiet, beating heart of their alliance, a secret hope in the endless night. The story of Quillon, Cleo, and Grease is woven deeply into the grand tapestry of Rune. Their struggles are not just for survival or coin. They are tied to secrets far older and more profound. They are guardians of knowledge related to the hidden, the ancient, dragon-blooded watchers who operate from behind a veil of oaths and shadow. The Briar Guild, in its own way, became an extension of this purpose. It wasn't just about controlling the underworld. It was about redemption. Each thorn they placed, each secret they uncovered, was an attempt to prick the world's festering wounds and let in a sliver of light. As they stand on a jagged rune cliffside at dusk, the wind whipping their cloaks, they stare into a stormy horizon. Their journey has brought them here, to a precipice. They have joined other adventurers, sat at tavern tables filled with laughter and camaraderie, a life Quillon never imagined. We see him offer a reluctant smirk as Cleo's red-streaked hair catches the firelight, and Grease toasts the moment with a sly grin. They have found a place, a purpose. But the shadows are relentless. Will they finally claim the darkness as their throne, ruling the empire they built? Or will the very shadows they command eventually twist their souls beyond recognition? Quillon's hand closes around a wilted thorn flower, and as he crushes it, glowing embers drift into the wind, a symbol of a past destroyed and a future yet to be forged. The Briar's story is far from over. Their path is fraught with peril, and their destiny hangs in the balance. Will their bond be enough to withstand the coming storm? Step into Rune's shadows with us and find out. Subscribe to Lines of Rune for weekly D&D deep dives, session recaps, and more epic tales from the Vale. What secrets do you think Quillon, Cleo, and Grease will uncover next? Let us know your theories in the comments below, and let's roll the dice together. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may your blades stay sharp and your shadows stay loyal.